Oil refineries are responsible for separating the different length hydrocarbons found in crude oil into their different fractions, depending on whatever boiling point they have. Once separated, we know there is a surplus of fuel oil and bitumen. Therefore, oil refineries have too many long chain hydrocarbons compared to the demand. If something isn't done with those unused hydrocarbons, they will just go to waste, and the oil industry would never allow that. To help meet the demands of the shorter chain hydrocarbons, we use a process called cracking. This is where a longer chain hydrocarbon is broken into two shorter chain hydrocarbons. We use the word to crack, which just means to break the covalent bonds between the atoms. So cracking is where the covalent bonds in a long chain hydrocarbon are broken, producing a shorter chain alkane and a shorter chain alkene. Cracking is a very important chemical reaction because it helps meet the demands of society. Unfortunately, crude oil does not provide us with enough petrol or kerosene or natural gas. Therefore, to help meet these demands, we crack the longer chain hydrocarbons such as fuel oil, which is in surplus, and then we use those shorter chain alkanes to meet the demands of petrol, kerosene, and natural gas. For example, decane, which has a formula of C10H22, can be cracked into octane and ethene. The chemical formula of octane is C8H18 and ethene is C2H4. The displayed formula of decane is C10H22, and it's really important to notice that if there are 10 carbon atoms on the left, your products must add up to 10 carbon atoms as well. Octane has 8 carbon atoms and ethene has 2 carbon atoms. Decane has 22 hydrogen atoms, whereas octane has 18 hydrogen atoms and ethene has 4. This adds up to 22 as well. Therefore, you can see how cracking follows the law of conservation of mass. Whatever elements and atoms you have on the left, you must have on the right as well, just like any chemical reaction. Ethene contains a double bond because it's an alkene, and all alkenes have double bonds, whereas octane is an alkane, so it has just single bonds. Double bonds are found in alkenes, whereas single bonds are found in alkanes. An alkene can be identified by the carbon-carbon double bond, whereas an alkane can be identified by the carbon-carbon single bond. Because of this double bond, we say alkenes are unsaturated, whereas because of the single bonds, we say alkanes are saturated. A very important rule to remember about cracking is that an alkene is always produced along with an alkane. You need to remember this general word equation for cracking, and that's a long chain alkane always forms a shorter chain alkane with a shorter chain alkene. The suffix "ane" means the hydrocarbon is an alkane, and the suffix "ene" means the hydrocarbon is an alkene. Catalytic cracking is one of the techniques used to crack long chain alkanes into shorter chain alkanes and shorter chain alkenes. The equipment needed for catalytic cracking is a Bunsen burner. The Bunsen burner heats the test tube containing the long chain hydrocarbon. There's a delivery tube connecting this test tube to another test tube. There are bungs in the test tubes to ensure the gas does not escape, and then there is ice surrounding the second test tube. The Bunsen burner heats the long chain hydrocarbon, causing it to evaporate. The evaporated hydrocarbon passes over aluminium oxide in a powdered form. The powdered aluminium oxide catalyst increases the surface area and therefore speeds up the chemical reaction, acting as a catalyst. The shorter chain alkane and shorter chain alkene products flow through the delivery tube to the test tube in the ice. The ice condenses the shorter chain alkane and alkene gases where they form liquids collecting in the test tube. The second process used to crack long chain alkanes is called steam cracking. Water is heated above 400 degrees Celsius until it becomes steam, Along with this, the hydrocarbon is heated, and together, this combination causes the long chain hydrocarbon to be cracked into a shorter chain alkane and a shorter chain alkene. Steam cracking is above 400 degrees Celsius, whereas catalytic cracking is above 650 degrees Celsius. These temperatures are only used when cracking is carried out at an industrial scale, and these alkenes are used to make polymers which have many different uses. Press pause to answer the questions, and the answers will follow. If stuck, just rewatch the video.